Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Iron Warrior Cosplay Q&A with me, Iron Warrior Cosplay. My guest tonight is a prop-making machine. He's made such things as Captain America's shield, a portal gun, the inside of a DeLorean, Bone Splitter, Brooks's crown from One Piece, an entire Gundam with shield, and now he's currently working on a Mecha Godzilla, and that's just to name a few. He's got over 500k subscribers on YouTube and counting. Born in North California, Odin has been a cosplay building for most of his life, showing that if you follow your passion, you can do anything. Odin has been a busy guy, prop making for projects with hosting shows like DIY Prop Shop and Beyond Geek, where he made a combat-ready lightsaber. The sheer amount of information I researched on this legend in the cosplay community was more than I could fit into this short little intro. So why not talk to the man himself? Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the Iron Warrior Cosplay Q&A, a man who made a video about watching paint dry. Ladies and gentlemen, Odin Makes. How the hell are you, sir?
I'm doing really well. That is an amazing intro. Thank you very much.
Do you know what? I'm getting to the point now where writing intros is getting second nature to me. I don't do it for every stream, but like the slightly bigger names, I do tend to write intros and stuff, and it is kind of fun.
Right. It is, and you're good at that. I've known other producers that would labor over how to write an intro. So you're doing really good.
The research alone, the research I did on you alone was, I could fill pages of the amount of information I found out on you. Stuff I didn't even know.
Wow.
Like, I was like, holy crap. It was
Now
awesome.
I'm afraid of what's out there.
Oh, don't worry. It's all like interviews you've done and information, like nice information, not like doxing you or anything, not like exactly where you live and that kind of thing.
Right.
It's just like, but honestly, I'm really, really grateful to have you on stream. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Odin Makes. I can't believe this. When I told some friends of mine that I was having you on, they were just like, wait, the guy from, and I'm like, yeah, the guy. They were just like, hold on, and they just went to look you up, and they were just like, he's posted about you, and I'm like, yep, he's posted about you. Like, literally, he's coming on the stream. Like, all your links are being shared in the chat: your YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Reddit, Patreon, your Ko-fi, your Etsy, your eBay, and so on. Just your entire roster of links is being shared in the chat. Also, remember, everyone in chat, if you guys want to ask a question, make sure you at Iron Warrior Cosplay, type your question out. My moderators will send it to me, and I will read them out as we go. I'll try and fit you in. But right now, we've got the Ghostbusters clipboard and all the questions to start off with. So let's just start off. Odin, let's start off with like my main standard question is, where did it all start? Like, how did you get into it? Like, how did everything behind you and your 500,000 subscriber YouTube channel, where did it all begin?
I've answered this a couple different ways, but this is a really fun, direct way to, where did it all begin? Probably a little movie I think you might have heard of, Star Wars.
I'm not sure. I think
I was a wee little lad when that came out, and that year I remember wanting to do a Chewbacca costume, so Mom sewed up the fursuit. And the one thing I can barely remember is talking about the strap that went around him. I didn't know it was called a bandolier at the time. And he's got those boxes, so we can take Dad's hard-packed cigarette packs and wrap them with aluminum foil and make those boxes. And I've actually since found a picture. There's like 3 boxes on there. I remember it being full. There's like 3.
Oh my God. I love that you use like hard cigarette boxes. That's great.
Yeah. and it had those really bad vampire teeth that makes you drool. But I've always really enjoyed costumes. I was a huge Godzilla fan.
Were you?
When I was younger.
Were you?
Go figure.
Go figure.
And I always knew there were guys in rubber suits and they were stepping on model trains. So I don't ever remember thinking they were real. But I was always really enjoyed the rubber monster, the models that they built. And so
100%.
all that costuming, it just kept going through. There was a Smithsonian magazine that came out when Return of the Jedi was in the theaters. And it was that picture with George Lucas surrounded by all the models and maquettes. And I would just stare at that thing. So really a lot of that is where it came from. And then my family in general was just very creative. Dad was kind of an engineer and a tinkerer and an inventor. And Mom was like, oh, we need one of those. Okay, let's make one. So the whole idea of, we need one of those. Okay, let's make one was just sort of the family motto. And I kind of kept doing it.
So like from quite a young age then you've had like that inspiration to just build stuff. If you haven't got it, build it.
Yeah.
If you want this from this TV show, build it. Make it yourself.
Pretty
that
much.
Kind of thing.
In some way or another.
That's dedication.
Yeah, exactly.
That's such dedication. And also, hats off to your parents for just being like, yeah, build it, like helping, pushing you to do it. Like that is the best. I did read up somewhere that you helped with a production of Rocky Horror.
Yes.
Did you play anyone? Who did you play if you did?
Course.
Who did you play? I would love to know.
Oh, Eddie.
Eddie! Yes!
Eddie!
Do you know what, right?
Happened to Saturday night?
I'm not even kidding. I'm not even kidding. I was sat there like, if he didn't play Eddie, I swear to God. Like, I actually sat there.
It was Eddie and then, of course, Dr. Scott, because the two of them never interact. So most live casts, and I think even the theatrical play, that was the same actor. So, but yeah, there was about 4 or 5 years here in Sacramento. I appeared in a couple of different casts during the midnight showings of Rocky Horror Picture Show. And I helped kit out some of the props and stage things that the Saturday night cast had. And the one thing I did that worked really, really well, there's the big dinner scene. So all the main characters sit around at dinner with this overdone place settings, right? There's one character who's got like 7 forks. But we sat down and drilled out all this plastic tableware and all the silverware and sewed it to the tablecloth. So Frank, the main guy, can grab the tablecloth, throw it on the ground in the fit that he has in the movie. Everything goes with it. And then the PA in black can run over, bundle the whole thing up like a picnic thing and run off stage with it. And it doesn't make a mess, but it made a fantastic noise. That was probably my favorite thing.
You sewed
cutlery.
Yes, we sewed.
Yeah. We just went to a thrift shop and bought real silverware, but then plastic plates, plastic glasses. I think we sewed a teddy bear for the centerpiece instead of the piece of Eddie that they're eating. And so everything was sewn onto this red tablecloth. You could just pick it up and everything was attached.
Oh, yeah. That's so good. I see, like insider info. I'm loving that. But I'm not gonna lie, so many people in chat are happy that you played Eddie, because I was like, if he didn't play Eddie, I'm gonna be so mad.
And then on Switch nights, I would play Columbia.
Oh no.
Yep, because we have the Switch nights where I would play something else and I would play Columbia. Once I did Criminologist dressed up as Tim Curry in the Darkness outfit from the movie Legend, because that was one of the first big full foam cosplays I did.
That's so sick. Oh, honestly, just finding out this information, this is honestly. So, why do you cosplay then? What is your like your main reason for cosplaying?
Just costumes. It goes back to growing up and high school and being a young adult, and Halloween was like the pinnacle of the year. It was the day coming up, right? I quit jobs so I could go do things I wanted to do at Halloween, because they wouldn't guarantee me I'd have the time off. It's like, okay, then I got to go.
That is dedication. Like that is dedication.
Lunacy. Well, it's fast food, right?
Like,
but,
I tell you what, I haven't quit a job, but I have feigned illness to be like, oh, I can't come into work this weekend, and then I've like fucked off to like a Comic-Con.
Right.
It's just like,
you've
got to when you've been asked to attend an event and you tell them, yeah, sure, what, because it's an opportunity for you to get your name out there and stuff.
Exactly.
And then your job tells you, no, you have to come in and do this menial, horrible job. It's like, no,
right.
I'm good.
But if you're not here, your chair's going to get cold. You got to be here. Yeah, no,
it's just.
I've done that. I've called. It was funny that it was easier to call in sick than it was to ask for time off. I've been in that position too. It's
madness. We have had our first hydrate of the night, so hail hydrate to everyone in chat. If you have
hydrate.
If you've got them, drink them. And we also have our first question of the night from a very good friend of mine, Caxor. Question for Odin: what did you play in the band you were in?
Oh, Caxor. I mostly played Guitar Hero. So how's the band? Let's see. If you want to go to high school, the 7th grade, 8th grade, I started playing around with musical instruments, and I attempted to be in a marching band my first year in high school, when I really found out that I really can't play the saxophone and march in time at the same time. So I kind of faked playing the saxophone because it was more important than half the steps. So if you want, I played sax in high school band, but I really haven't been in a rock band otherwise. Now, there is a Sacramento band who you can still find online, and they're going to be playing, I think, first weekend of September here in Sacramento. They're called Warp 11, and it's a Star Trek
11.
Band.
Oh yeah, it's God.
Sex, drugs, and Star Trek. It's one of their songs is called Red Alert because they're all out of beer.
Oh my god, that is.
I did a lot of the costumes for that band, and I made the Bugatu, and I made there's a bridge set. So if you look up warp11.com, you'll find the band, and they're actually surprisingly good. And I'm not just saying that because they're friends. They're actually, wow, these guys are actually decent. But they don't take themselves seriously at all, and I think that helps them a lot.
That I think is awesome. There is a band I've seen, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm because obviously we're live. I've forgotten the name, but they're a Transformers band. They all dress up as Autobots.
Cool.
They all dress up as Autobots. If one of my mods, if one of you could go online and try to find, they're a band that dress up
like Cybertron's Honeys or something like that.
Something like my friend, my moderator, and friend Ranger Creed Cosplay has just shared the link to Warp 11 YouTube channel there. That is awesome. We have questions coming in like crazy, but I will carry on with my questions. I'll jump these questions in as we go.
Okay.
But you've been cosplaying pretty much your whole life. You said you were a kid and you had the Chewbacca costume
Pretty much.
and everything
If you want to count Halloween, yeah, I've been cosplaying since 75. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's, you know what? That is dedication. That is dedication. Is cosplay something you see yourself doing in 10 years?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes, definitely.
You're just going to carry on?
It's just going to carry on. I mean, the level of how I cosplay or how I present myself or do things may change slightly. But I doubt it will all that much. Last time I got to go to Dragon Con in Atlanta, I went as Vacation Thanos. So I made his helmet and I had the Infinity Gauntlet. Yeah, because I didn't want to make his armor, right? So I had the helmet and the gauntlet, and I got a real Hawaiian shirt in Thanos's colors. Put on some golden aviators, put some zinc on my nose, and otherwise had the face paint of Thanos, and walked around with the beer and the Infinity Gauntlet all night. It was great.
I am just well done. Yeah. That was
Thank
great.
You.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, that's like on par with like or even I'm not gonna lie, that's better if anything than the dancing Space Marines, where myself and my friend David Roth we go to these events called Sci-Fi Weekender, and we get drunk, get in our Space Marines, we go to the dance floor in a nightclub, dance in our Space Marines. There are videos of me on YouTube and Facebook of me just dancing next to David Roth, completely hammered in our giant suits. Awesome. And just it's madness. It is madness.
That is awesome. I used to do that with in my Gwar suit. Like I was part of a group. We'd all dressed up as Gwar in the 90s, and yeah. So the few times I would get out and dance was wearing ball sack, which was just 8-inch lips with hooves. He's basically a minotaur with a bear trap for a face and sea urchins on his shoulders. But there's all that foam and hair, and you barely have to do anything. It looks like you're doing a lot.
How many cosplays do you think would you say you've done?
Oh Lord.
That's I think that's a question I think that everyone would want to know.
Everyone would want to know. That would require some serious thinking. As far as big, full, real foam, hardcore cosplays, there was a short-lived internet show. Believe it or not, I got to be part of some early on live streaming, some testing with brand new equipment. So we were streaming live to the internet in '98.
Was that with the 56K modem?
Yes,
exactly. I found that online. I found that online.
Found that online?
I was like, what?
Yep. Streaming like 5 or 6 years before YouTube. So during that time, we did the Star Trek show, and I did all the costumes for that show. So just for that, there was a Horta and a Mugatu and a Gorn. And we made a full dummy so we could throw him off the roof for a skydiving accident. And I guess a chest burster's a prop. He's on a cosplay. And then all the crew uniforms, right? So there's a ton of that. I would really have to think about how many Halloween costumes, but we built 3 or 4 different Gwar outfits that then got upgraded. I did Darkness from the movie Legend twice, once to fit me, once to fit a friend.
See,
there's all the stuff for Rocky Horror.
Twice. I love that.
The second was so much better than the first one.
It always is, right? It always is, right?
Yeah.
And it just doesn't matter what you make. It's like you make the second one. It's like, damn,
and I'm not wearing this one.
Yeah, and it's the same with commissions and stuff. It's just like I made a set of Space Marine shoulders recently, and I was like, they're so good. It's like I need to remake.
I remember making a full body, full. It wasn't a cosplay; it was more of a big full prop. But I did a Dalek based off of the old technical manual. Doctor Who technical manual. So he was all wood and fiberglass. But how many? Oh, I don't know. I mean, it's so many, and I forget. And there's stuff I'm forgetting I did for short films and things that were just had to live for a weekend and then were gone.
Oh my god! Just like as soon as they're done, in the trash, in the dumpster,
Pretty
just
much.
get rid of it.
Or they just get torn apart being removed, because it was
Oh,
half
man,
makeup,
man.
right?
Oh, good lord. I'm not gonna lie. My mods are really having to work tonight. We have.
Thank you. God bless the mods.
Yeah, well, seriously, these mods, honestly. Jack of all trades official in all capitals. Hey, it's me, Nora.
Of course, it's in all capitals. I made a joke once, and she hasn't let up since.
So I like that. That was there.
Awesome. Hello, Nora. Thank you.
Dribs, I think it's Dribs. Dribs 2019 question. What were the first things you two built? But love to meet Odin. But no good note. I've met Iron Warrior a handful of times. What were the first things you two built? What was the first thing you built ever? Like you built?
First thing that I built ever. That I can. The first thing that I built that I can remember being shown that I had built it, because I don't remember building it, were these little clay dinosaurs, and I don't know what preschool. They kind of look like cat turds with legs, but apparently it's one's bipedal with a tail, so I assume that's a tyrannosaur, and then the other one's got a few cones in the face. That must be a triceratops. So how's that? I got a pair of dinosaurs.
That's really early on. Prop wise, or even, well, I'd say cosplay wise. But what sort of prop wise? What was the first kind of prop you built?
I remember helping out with some like 6th grade plays at school. One of them was like this hipster Santa thing that we're supposedly doing, and having to put together was a set of handlebars that we decorated look more like a motorcycle handlebars on, like it was a bicycle, but we basically kitted up a bicycle with cardboard to make it look a little more like a motorcycle, so you could ride out with the motorcycle sound effect and then get off and be the badass Santa.
I'm loving that. Oh my god, this is great. This is great. For me, I'm trying to think what kind of. I think the first prop I built was my bolter for my Space Marine, just the big bolter that I built, and that was after I built the Space Marine. But the first prop I built was the bolter. The first cosplay I did was probably my steampunk, but that was mainly bought stuff, like clothing and all that kind of stuff that I would wear, and like I bought a cane and stuff. That was mainly bought stuff, but then I made a time travel clock and stuff, and that was a whole thing. So yeah, I would say my steampunk stuff would probably be the first thing I properly built into the whole cosplay thing. But that it's not the best answer, but it's the way I do it, because that's literally the first cosplay I did was a steampunk. So it was pretty much how it went.
I think the first cosplay I had more hand in than, because there's Chewbacca, right? But in '82 I did SETI Alpha 5 garb that Khan wears from Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. So it's all the rags with the gloves. And I remember being more involved in the actual building of that costume as opposed to anything earlier.
I like that. I like that. That was the one thing that you jumped into. You did with like your either your parents or your mother, and you just carried on. You actually built it, or
totally.
That's
both
awesome.
of them. My dad took over doing the helmet, and I remember we took like a Frogger trucker hat and cut the bill off and made the visor, and then I was helping sew the bits of silver elastic onto the back of the gloves to look like bits of metal. And yeah,
it's so cool. That is so cool. I'm loving that. If I had to ask you then, when you build props and cosplays, considering everything that you've built in the background, I know you do a lot of your videos solo, but would you prefer to build by yourself, or do you prefer to work with others when it comes to building a proper cosplay?
At this point, I do very much enjoy building with others. I enjoy the company, I enjoy the camaraderie, and I enjoy the being accountable. Like, this person showed up, so I need to get down and get going too.
Yeah, you've got to do it now. Like they're here, they've made the effort to come to you. You've got to do it now.
Right.
So it's kind of,
I got to get up off my rear, get away from the computer, and actually go ahead and do it. Yeah,
I love that.
Definitely enjoy that. Yeah.
Oh, Ranger of Creek has just shared my steampunk in the chat. Oh no!
Yes.
I wonder what picture he's shared. I wonder which one he's.
Oh, I'm sure it's the worst one.
Oh, guaranteed, it's always going to be like the one where. Oh God, no! I can't. I dread to think. I'm not going to click on it. Munchie, 2011 at Iron Warrior Cosplay. Question for you both. I'm just starting out. Any advice for new cosplayers? I'm going to say
your cosplay is never as bad as you think it is. You are your worst own critic.
Yes.
And starting out, the best cosplay you can do is the one that you've got finished to the level that you're comfortable wearing it.
Yes.
Does that make any sense?
I
A
like
cosplay where
I
you
like
actually
that.
wear it and show up anywhere is better than one that's half done in the garage.
See, I'm loving that. My advice would basically be just jump in and do it. Don't
Yeah,
don't
there's that too.
don't sit there and meticulously try and work out everything. Just grab a load of foam or start just go for it. Just
Yeah.
have fun
Yeah,
with
just
it.
get started. And for me, figuring out the problems along the way is the most fun. So not knowing how to do it not knowing how I'm going to completely do it to begin with is never an issue. I might have an idea of, okay, if I start doing this, and these other pieces will fall in line. So don't overthink it to where I don't know how I'm going to do this part once I get there. Worry about it when you get there.
Worry about when you actually get there. Exactly.
Yeah.
Like I've built stuff and I've been like, oh, how am I going to do that? It's like, well, I haven't done this bit yet, so I'm just going to carry on. And I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. It's the easiest way to do it. It's the easiest way to do it.
Right. And for all of us on the outside, we're just seeing the completed thing as a whole. So I also know as an artist, it's like, oh, I really hate the eye on that thing. But nobody looks at the eye. They're looking at a bunch of other stuff. So
they're looking at everything else.
Everything else.
I've always had that problem with the Iron Warrior where I've been thinking like, oh, I can see this in photos and stuff like that. But when you're walking through a con, everyone just looks at the whole cosplay and they don't look at and it's just like, why care that much? Like, care, obviously, you have to care. But don't
you have to care, right?
Don't do it to the point where you're losing sleep. It's just
right.
Like,
yes.
You can
don't
fix
beat
something.
yourself up over it.
You can fix it. If something's not right on your cosplay, you can redo it. It's not it's not there forever now, so you're fine.
We did that for years too.
We have another cosplay from Munchie 2011. Cosplaying Gandalf when you're older. Is that for me or Odin? I mean, I wouldn't mind doing Gandalf when I'm older. It'd be kind of cool just to grow this out and just get the stuff. Because you've made the staff, haven't you?
I made Saruman's staff.
You made
so
Saruman's
if you're gonna Gandalf,
staff.
maybe I got to do Saruman. I'm a little big for Saruman, but whatever.
No such thing. No such thing. Cosplay is literally for everyone. It does not matter.
This is true.
It literally does not matter. But honestly, again, you've made so many cosplays. But if you had to pick top 3 or maybe top 5 then for you instead of like your favorite, but what is your favorite cosplay that you've built?
All right, so you're almost asking just props because a lot of the stuff I have behind me, I only make a piece. I don't make the rest of the cosplay.
Yeah, you don't make the whole thing. I got you.
No.
Let's say prop then. Let's say your favorite prop. I know you've.
I'm sure it's gonna be Mecha Godzilla.
Yes,
he's not finished.
I can't wait. Is that just? I'm just seeing the head behind you, and I can't stop looking at it. It is so cool. Are you able to pick that up? Are you able to pick that up?
Yeah, I can pick that up. I'm wired with my headphones, but
oh my god, look at it! If you guys haven't already, go to his YouTube channel. He is currently building this thing. It is amazing.
Right.
Look at it.
I hook this up right. Is this the right way or the wrong way? That's the right way.
Look at it. It's so cool. Oh my god.
The eyes are 12-volt lorry lights. They're just LED lorry lights that I picked up from a shop.
That is seriously. If you guys haven't, go to his YouTube channel. It is the build videos are so detailed. Look at it. Just look.
That's where my face goes.
Because obviously that's where you see from, isn't it? Because the
that's
head
where
is
I see from. Yeah.
Yeah, the head is way above you. That is stunning work.
Yeah, I have a helmet that I wear inside that velcros to this helmet. So as I turn my head inside, his head on top turns.
That's so cool. It is insane. I watching you build this has been mind blowing. Like I literally just watched the one where you built the feet the other day. But what I liked is you kept in when you were like these toes too small. You made these ones instead, and you put like the next day, and that's nice to see. Sort of someone even of your level be like, I screwed up, but you can do this, and it's like it gives confidence to people who are like just starting and just getting into it all. It is absolutely awesome. It is absolutely awesome.
I also honestly believe knowing how to work yourself out of a problem is just as valuable as knowing how to get to the end.
Absolutely,
right? Because that's part of getting to the end. Yeah,
it's I've had people ask me about like I built this and I'm having trouble with this in like a Space Marine, for example. Like, how did you get around doing this? Sure. And I'll send them all the information I have on how I did it. And then sometimes they'll do it exactly the same. Another time they'll take that idea, change it a little bit for their liking, and then they'll have it, and it works for them. And it's great, and it's what you need. But I can't wait to see you stomping around as Mechagodzilla. I cannot wait. I genuinely cannot wait. You did you did have plans to take him out recently, didn't you? Like obviously after you build him.
Right. Yes, in just about a month, be the first weekend in September. There's a con here in Sacramento called SAC Anime. And since it's local and I know I can get this in my truck and get it there, that's my goal, is to get to that con. I would love to go to, there's a bigger one in the United States on the same weekend called Dragon Con
Oh, Dragon
in
Con, yeah,
Atlanta.
Dragon
But
Con.
that's a continent away, and I don't think I can get out there with this guy this year.
Oh my god, you could. I don't know. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know American stuff that much, but like, could you carpool with him next to you? Like, could you go in the carpool lane or something they call it when you have more than one person in the car and just Mecha Godzilla like sat next to you, just like, hey, here he is. Like,
Maybe. I don't think that would fly very well. I did. Now, allow me to go just a tiny bit dark for a minute. I have a friend. There's a community college here in town, and they have a really good mortuary schooling as part of it. Right, it's one of the better ones in the area.
Oh
so I
my
have a
God.
friend that doing that was working for a funeral service, and one of his jobs was to go out and pick up the fresh cadavers, the fresh bodies, and bring them back to the mortuary. He would always drive in the carpool lane because he's got someone else.
He's got someone
Doesn't
else.
say if he has to be alive.
Oh my God. What a legend. What a legend. Good God. I can't get over that. That is just, well, I mean, if it doesn't say in the law that they have to be alive, then it's legal. It's legal.
Right.
Honestly.
What do you want? There's two people in the car.
Thank you so much to Joel for the follow. I really, really appreciate it. Welcome to the stream.
Right on,
Welcome
Joe.
to the stream. But if I had to say that there's questions that I do, and they're sort of like a two-sided coin. They're sort of like always a good side and a bad side. It's like yin and yang.
Okay.
But if I had to say, what is your favorite part of cosplay, as a whole, like cosplay in general? What is your favorite part of it? Is it like the camaraderie, like you were saying? Is it the going out to meet people? Is it the fame, for example, for you? Because fair play, you are well known. You are pretty well known.
Right. Honestly, oddly enough, the fame was just kind of happened. That wasn't a goal. My favorite part is probably the actual creation process. I always kind of wanted to do this and be behind the camera. It was never a goal of mine, say 20 years ago, to be the guy in front of the camera. So my favorite part of cosplay is the actual making of something that closely resembles what I'm working from, the emulation of the art, so to speak.
Because I know you do a lot of reference image searching, and you check parts, and you get stuff pretty damn close to what they look like, and that's dedication.
Yeah, I really try. And that was the Rocky Horror Picture Show group that I ended up joining, because there was a bunch of different casts in town, and with that one, you're paying to go and do it, right? Because you have to pay for your movie ticket to get in and so forth. So most will go and just have fun, which is what they should be doing. The cast I was part of, it was be as accurate as you can be with your costume, be as accurate to the screen as you can be when the spotlight's on you. Otherwise, have fun. And I still kind of feel that way. I want to be as accurate as I can be. So, and I've got my own personal limitations of what I can actually do and can't do creatively. So I'm not too worried about it looking like Odin made it. So what? But that's what I enjoy. So that's what I like to do.
I like that. With that being the other side of the coin, then what's your least favorite part of cosplay?
Getting it across the line.
Just getting it there. Just getting it there.
There's
me, I feel you. I feel you.
Oh, I'm sure. With every project, there's for me, it's a lot like puzzles. Building anything for cosplay, building anything is a puzzle, and I love puzzles as a kid. Well, once I've got the puzzle solved, and now I just have to do these things to finish it, well, that's freaking work.
That is a lot of work, but it's just
and sometimes it can be a lot of work.
Like, I mean, your Mecha Godzilla, for example, is my God, it's been I could just looking at the amount of work that goes into it, and just even though your videos are like X amount long, it's still like from a cosplayer watching it, it's like, God, that must have taken him so long. It's just the teeth alone. Did you have to individually? Because like I've watched so many of your videos, just having to individually make the teeth and individually make the missiles, and oh wow.
Yeah, I've still got a baggie of extra teeth because I cut more than I needed. So it literally says Mecha Godzilla teeth on the baggie.
I love it.
No, each one, everything, and everything's cut by hand or with a bandsaw, right, which is still effectively cutting by hand.
Yeah, of course.
Because I don't have a laser cutter. And even though I've got friends, some more distant than others, that have laser cutters, none of them are close enough that it justifies the car ride versus just do it.
Well, I'm not gonna lie to you. I have a laser cutter myself. I have a meter by a meter square, and the amount of times I get like friends of mine and stuff being like, "Hey, can you cut me some parts?" I'm like,
right,
okay, I'll cut them some parts. It's just to the point where now I have actual foam storage, and I've got labels on them for who owns the foam. Because they'll just be like, "Oh, have I got any 10mm left at your place?" I'm like, "Yeah, I've got some 10mm." Like, "Oh, can you use that to cut this out for me?" And they'll send me a file. I'm like, "Sure, no worries." I'll just slap it on and cut it out. So, they have to do all the work and scale it and everything and get it right. I'll just cut it. That's
right.
And then I'll pack it up and post it off to them, or they can come and collect it. It's it's that easy. But I haven't done it to the point where I would love to make a kit. I would love to make parts of like something where I could just pack it up, send it to someone, and they could glue it all together, and it would make something. I think that would be really cool at some point.
That would be. I thought about that too. That would be really cool.
I have questions here. One from Jack of All Trades. Hey, Iron Warrior Cosplay. How did you meet Odin? I pressed go live, and no, I'm joking. It wasn't that easy. I messaged him like that, like a message, like it wasn't that long, was it? It was a fairly lengthy message, I think. Just being like, hey, hi, so you're really cool and stuff. Do you want to be on the stream and stuff? And it was just like, it's sort of like, and just
right. then like, who is this guy? He's not 12, is he? And then, oh, sure.
And then just seeing like Odin Makes scene, and I'm like, oh, good. Now we wait, and it's just literally like I waited like 20 minutes, and then I got a message back, be like, hey, sure, I'd like to be on a stream. It's like, fuck yeah! It's like I got Odin Makes. It was
good. I only took 20 minutes to answer you. That's good. Sometimes it takes me a while.
Oh no, I don't mind, because I consider time differences being a massive thing. Like, time differences are always a difficult thing. That's what the worst thing about doing this kind of stream is, like, trying to make sure I don't stream too crazy late at night for me, but then also not too crazy early or crazy late for anyone who's on my stream. So it's trying to make sure that everyone sort of, like yourself. What's it currently? 5? How are you? 5?
8 hours. I'm 8 hours behind you.
8 hours. I was going to say 5.
So it's
You're
8
8 hours behind
right now. Yeah.
So it's new. Well, honestly, it is an honor to have you on. I really, really appreciate it, because I know how busy you are. You've got so much going on, and you've got Mechagodzilla to build. I mean, come on, Mechagodzilla's got to get built. You know what I mean? So
he's got to.
I really, really appreciate it.
I feel like a chump if I don't have him when I need to have him.
Oh, I can't wait.
We've been spending all week this week working on the Gundam suit again for the same reason, trying to get him built up, because last year we built the full suit Gundam, the RX-78.
Yeah.
Right, that fit Joe. But that was when the whole pandemic happened, and that Gundam suit hasn't been to a big con. We've been to a couple of swap meets, but haven't been to a real con. So hopefully we're going to have the Gundam finish. It'll go to Silicon Valley Comic-Con, which will be in San Jose in like 3 weeks.
Watching you put that thing together blew my mind. Yeah. When just watching each video, like one video was the helmet, then the chest, and you did the legs, and so on and so on, and each video is split up really nicely, so it's not all just rushed and crammed into one video. But watching your videos and being like, wow, that is just the details and everything you cut out and the way you do it, and your technique that I learned from you, which is put paper down, then start gluing and remove sheets of paper as you go. I learned. I use that technique thanks to watching your videos. Videos. But I will say this: I just
did that this morning with a complicated part where I had to block things off so I could get into the corner.
So you can actually
start removing. Yeah.
Well, I did say before. Oh, there you go. There's an Instagram to the Gundam cosplay. Thank you so much, Ranger Creed. My mods are killing it tonight, by the way.
Sweet. Once again, God bless the mods.
Like, genuinely, I love them to bits. I did say I had a surprise for Odin at the beginning of the stream. I got commissioned not long ago by a chap on my prop making page, because I don't use my cosplay page and my prop making page. They're separate. So it's called Battle Ready Cosplay Props and Costumes. And he contacted me and said, hey, I'm doing this cosplay. And I can't say what it is because he's asked me not to mention the crossover he's doing. But he needed he needed a prop made. And what he needed made was a Gundam shield.
Oh, that is awesome.
And take a guess at whose video I watched over and over again to try and get it like to try to get this as accurate as I could. Now, genuinely,
I got no idea.
I have no idea.
No idea at all.
Could one of my mods screenshot me and Odin just holding these shields? That would be wonderful. If someone could screen cap that and then let me know when you've done it, so that we can stop pausing like that. Shield buddies. Someone screenshot this. God damn it! Someone screenshot it and tell me you've done it.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. This may be the first, or it could be the second, but I think this is the first other Gundam shield that I've seen built. That at least that was giving credit to inspiration from our videos. So that's really cool.
I mean, as you can see, they do look a lot different. But then your shield and this shield are different shields from different Gundams. If I'm right in saying. But
probably.
I tell you what, the back though is where I lack detail compared to yours. The detail you've got on yours is much more than the detail I've got here. What I went for mainly was strength for the handle. This is so strong. This you can literally, it is not going anywhere.
And it looks like it weighs a lot less than ours, because our the one we build, it's all Sintra and what the foam.
Oh,
and it's got a decent amount of weight to it. This is not a comfortable way to hold the shield. It works for the model, but it doesn't work for a human.
Well, luckily, I haven't had to put any strapping or anything up here because it's so lightweight. You can hold it like this all day. It's 100% foam. Good. It's all foam. It's everything is foam, including the star and everything. The only thing that isn't is this handle. This is a PVC pipe.
PVC pipe. Very cool.
Everything else is just foam. But I followed your video. I literally was just like, I need to find out a way of doing stuff, and I followed yours, especially for making this. This was definitely the most difficult part of this entire build. These weren't fun. Right. These pieces here weren't fun, but this was the most difficult piece to build. And
definitely. And I think we did it in the video. The where all 4 points came together, there was a void, and I think we ended up putting just a little bit of 5-minute epoxy in there to fill in that void.
I had to put a dab of super glue in there to get them to join together because I had a little void as well.
Yeah,
it was like, God damn it! But
could you just do the thing? You're foam.
I lasered these in the wording and stuff,
nice.
And then I painted. I took a fine detail brush, a 000, and painted black inside those things.
That's awesome.
And then to get it to shine exactly like yours, to get it to shine, I put 3 coats on this so it looks nice and shiny.
Oh, okay.
Nice and shiny.
Yeah, mine's a little dusty because it's close to the sanders, but where it hangs.
Oh, that's fair enough.
But yeah,
this one will be going to its owner. The owner's coming to collect it soon.
Camera, I can...
The owner's coming to collect it soon, and hopefully he'll be very, very happy with it, and it's going to go with his build. But that's something I wanted to show you because I was like, I still have the shield. I was like, I wonder if I'll still have the shield when I'm on with Odin. And it's like, boom, I still have it.
There it is.
I'm so
awesome.
happy. I'm so happy. Hey, we've got a picture as well. Lovely. My mods are the best, honestly. Do you know what? I normally do this at the end of stream, but I'm going to do this now. You guys go check out my moderators. They are absolutely amazing. You can find them there. They are Zug, Nate the Chill Valhallan, and Ranger of Krieg. All 3 of their links are there. If you want to go find them out, check them out. They are amazing, guys. They're genuinely awesome. I could not be doing this without them. I don't think I could be talking to you, listening to you, taking information, asking questions, keeping track of this, and doing questions at the same time. It would be crazy. It'd be crazy.
I understand. Jack of all trades, Nora is one of my mods, so I fully understand what you're saying.
Jack of all trades. You're amazing. Yeah. You're amazing. So we've got another question here. Right, let's see now then. What were the first things you ever made and got you hooked? Plus, I'm not gonna lie to you. Sorry, I've already read that one. That one's been posted twice. That's okay. I've got that one.
Sorry.
What is your dream cosplay, Odin? Mecha Godzilla. it's sat next to him. He can touch it. It's like it's no longer a pipe dream. It's just.
I have some other ideas of stuff to do in the future, and some stuff that I've had like way back in my mind from years gone by. And one of them, and I apologize, I'm not really willing to say what it is because as I go and look it up, it's like no one's still really doing that. So, but ultimately, Mechagodzilla. That was a Godzilla suit, and Mechagodzilla is my favorite of all the Showa Godzillas. So this is pretty much it.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. The work you've put into that is insane. The jaw opens, doesn't it?
Yes, yes, the jaw opens. I've
Just-
got a
Oh,
I got a few bit of
it's
pulleys
so
inside.
cool. It's
Where is it?
so cool. It is
There it is. So
insane.
I can attach it to the chin strap of my helmet on the inside, so I can make it actually kind of talk a little bit when I'm talking. But it's really weird.
Doing
You
that,
know,
yeah.
it's just-
Having to like,
yeah, a lot of extra
oh
movement.
my god, I love that. I love that.
I'm sure I've got a lot of plans that I want to do with this that I'll have to rework slightly after the first time I really wear it.
Do you know what? Right, when I wore the Iron Warrior out for the first time, I actually had a small little pocketbook, and I was like, change this. This is uncomfortable.
Right.
Change this. Then brought it back and practically had to redo it, like this, that, and the other. Cut this off, add this, change that. It was just, it was frustrating. It was frustrating, but it was fine. I mean, now I get in him, and it's like wearing a suit, and that's it, and it fits me perfectly. It fits me perfectly, and that's what I love about it.
That's literally what we're doing with the Gundam. We're repairing the knee braces. We're better circulation through the helmet, and that's all the checklists we're working on
because you
this
needed
week.
to change the knee once, and you had to cut a piece away to get the. I'm not gonna lie to you. When you guys tested it out, and you were like, "Oh yeah, it's okay, we'll cut that away." Watching you cut it away, and it was all painted and everything.
Oh.
Watching you cut it away, I was just like, "Oh no!"
Right.
Oh, what are they? But then it had to be done. It had to be done for it to function. Like it.
We took an 1.25 inches out of the forearm in this video because it fits great down, but as soon as he moves his arm, the foam pushes forward and it almost comes up to his knuckles. So we end up cutting 1.25 inches out of the forearm, so it just shortened that way up. So there's a whole process of me setting it at the table with some 1, 2, 3 blocks and a razor blade taped to a piece of acrylic and slice.
Thanks for the heads up. Thanks for the warning, because I'm gonna have to watch that, and I'm gonna just be sat there like, oh no.
It worked.
I have a question here from Dribs 2019. Question: I want to build some chains for my Jason Voorhees costume. How would I go about it? Which I made for under $15. I'll send Iron Warrior a pic if you'll look. You'll see. I'm the one with the machete. Obviously, if you're Jason. If you wanna send that link or image, if you want to go to the Discord and send that into general or send it to one of my mods here on Twitch, I'm sure we can get that to Odin and see if he can give you some tips on that.
If you really want to make it from link by link, that's a lot of work. What we did for Guar is we found a really dark brown, almost black plastic chain, and then just with a piece of sandpaper scuffed it up and sprayed it with silver spray paint. And because it was a dark color to begin with, whenever the spray paint flaked off, it wasn't white or yellow underneath it. It just looked like dark metal. And that worked really well, and it weighed nothing. And since it was plastic, no one at costume contests ever complained about it.
Well, no, because obviously there are rules and regulations before going to events and stuff like that. Yeah.
Right, they don't want anything anyone's going to get hurt with. I've done a group cosplay for Clockwork Orange where I was one of the Droogs. I was Dim, which would have chain around for his belt. Of course, I bought chain, which then promptly stayed in the car every time I wore it anywhere because you can't bring chain into a bar. I don't understand why.
I don't understand why you can't just wrap a chain around. Just like, no.
What's the problem? So yeah.
I tell you the funniest one was the amount of events I attend in the Iron Warrior. I think one year we did 24 events in a year, just going as the Iron Warrior to many events over the UK. When I had Ranger of Krieg as my spotter, he was like, I'm gonna bring my shovel. Can I bring my real shovel? Like, he has a little like Krieg shovel, and I was like, yeah, you can bring your real shovel. He was like, wait, I can bring my real shovel? I was like, we're cosplay guests. They trust us. We don't have to go through weapon checks, and you're sensible. So he just brought his shovel with him, and he just had it clipped to his belt all day, and he was just like, I got my real shovel. It's the best. Like, and as I was saying before stream, he built me this. He built me the power shovel. So the power shovel was,
which is awesome.
I love that. I love that thing. It is the best. But yeah, right. Back to questions on the list. I have a few more questions here on chat, but we are getting through them. I'm looking at the screenshot right now. It's just you and me smiling, holding Gundam shields. It's my favorite thing. I'll send you the image after. What is the most expensive prop you've ever made to date? Oh, there it is. The little piece you made for the very end, where it comes out, is so stunning. Right. When you made that, I was just like, oh, that's so pretty. That is
Thank you.
so
Yes, I was
pretty.
super happy with that.
Oh, I bet you were. Just
And since then, I've noticed people have been making more of the lightsaber effects, like the way that's drawn in the comics. You get that kind of a little extra. So I've seen those appearing on combat style lightsabers.
oh, that's so nice.
Okay, most expensive.
Yeah, the most expensive cosplay, or even most expensive prop you ever had to make, and I'm obviously probably wondering it could be the one behind you on the wall.
It could be, yeah. No, I don't think Soul Edge was the most expensive.
Pink
Because
lightsaber.
the full, yeah, well, it's the beam saber for the Gundam, right?
Beam saber for Gundam.
Yeah. So Gundam, there is a magenta color, and they were even the creator of Gundam specifically says, yes, I was inspired by lightsabers, but he made all of his magenta, so or pink. So that's what we did.
It is stunning. It is stunning. I love that.
Okay. Seriously trying to answer, because I don't think anything outside of like Mechagodzilla or Gundam, because if you take that as a whole, I almost intentionally haven't calculated how much we spent on those.
Yeah, I've stopped counting with the Iron Warrior now. I've stopped because
Exactly.
it's gotten too much. It's like, nope, that's no, that's not okay now.
So I'm trying to think of the stuff that I've actually made for. I worked on a World War II documentary at one point called The 11th Day, where we actually flew to the island of Crete to talk to veterans from World War II. And in order to take stuff to Crete for reenactment, on location reenactment, no weapons are allowed at all. So we had to make everything as prop replicas. And so we're finding really old Tommy gun props that I had to rework and turn into the World War II version and not the gangster version. I think the most expensive thing out of that was I sourced a real MG-34. So that's the first air-cooled machine, vehicle-mounted machine gun from the Germans. And it's pretty much the gun like Chewbacca has a hold of when they're doing the detention block raid. Now, I didn't do the modifications myself, but we found the gun and then found a guy from a World War II reenactment group that put a motorcycle carburetor inside of it connected to a period accurate ammo container. So what would happen is you would pull the trigger on the machine gun, the carburetor would do its thing, and a mixture of propane and oxygen would come in at the fire rate of the gun, so it would spit a flame out the end of it, a big football-sized flame burst at the end. And just like the real gun, you could fire it 5 or 6 times, like bap, 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 and you have to stop because the barrel was red hot. You had to let the barrel cool down. But because of the cost of all the parts, that might be the most expensive and one of the more, because you have to build this whole thing, then pack it up and ship it to another foreign country and hope that it doesn't get confiscated in the way in.
Can you imagine when they open it up and they're just like, yeah, no.
Yeah, no.
No.
We found the only guy on the island that had a permit for fireworks, large-scale aerial fireworks. One guy that we could find anyway on the whole island, and it was the closest we could get to a firearms expert that could sign off for having all this stuff come in.
Oh my god, that's almost like really dodgy. Like, sort of, just could you sign this first? I know it's fireworks, but could you just like sign this? We have weapons. Like, just do it. We have had another Hail Hydrate from Shrivel. Thank you so much.
Hail Hydrate.
I'm loving the Odin Makes sticker on your bottle as well. That's pretty sick. I love that.
Thank you.
I love that. Are those on your Etsy?
The stickers were on my Etsy. I'm not sure now, but I send the stickers out with my $10 patrons. They get an enamel pen and a sticker, and then I have the stickers with me at cons, and I'll actually give them out at cons.
Awesome. But, make sure you guys follow his Patreon if you haven't already. Patreon is awesome.
That's right.
Patreon helps keep them going. Patreon makes Godzilla work. That's how it works. Like, he's fueled by Patreon. I love that.
Yes, quite literally. Patreon literally keeps the lights on. I'm in a shop and I rent my space for the shop, and right now Patreon is paying for that space. There's no way I could be here and do this without my Patreon people. So thank you guys very much.
That's one thing I've wanted to ask you is this your home workshop thing, or is this like a place you have to drive to from your house to go to? Like, how?
This is the place I have to drive to from my house. It's a good 25-minute drive or so, 30-minute drive from my house to get here. And this is a place called the Sacramento Media Center. which you can find online. That's not hiding. So I've got a shop way in the back. It's 20 foot by 30 foot. So it's a good size shop. It's got a 16-foot ceiling.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, so I got props going up the wall.
Full-size Gundam when? No.
Yeah, full-size Gundam in here. There's no way I could do this in my garage. There's too many animals, too many distractions, too much residential neighborhood to be able to do any kind of like video work at home. But I've done plenty of stuff I've tried to build in my driveway, where you have to drag everything out in the driveway, do whatever you're going to do, and then you got to come in for dinner. Well, now everything has to come back inside so you can keep it. Yeah, there's just no way.
Yeah, it's just it's why I'm really grateful for the workshop that we have here. Like the workshop is it's a blessing, because like I wouldn't be able to build or store any of my props. I have a huge shelf over there. Like you said, you have walls. I have a giant shelf.
Right.
A huge shelf that runs the whole length of the workshop. That's just all Space Marine stuff. All
is cool.
Props and parts and all that kind of stuff. It's just storage mainly for all that kind of stuff, including things like the Gundam shield and stuff, which I have to keep super safe because that's paid for. So that's not
right.
You know,
exactly. Can't get it dirty. It can't fall over. Right.
We have a question from my moderator Nate the Chill Valhallan. If you could remake a prop, what would it be?
One of the ones I would have some interest in remaking would be the Aperture Science portal gun. I'm happy with what I got, but I wouldn't mind making it a new one that does both colors and maybe was a little more accurate in its shape. I mean, I don't mind what I have, and in a way, I'd rather do something new, but that's one I wouldn't mind redoing.
Now, you've worked for many different people around the times you were making prop stuff, like for example, DIY Prop Shop, which
Smosh.
You Smosh as well, which you really went in on the whole. Here's how to make a really cheap prop, and you did it so well. Like, I was rewatching some stuff just so I could refresh my memory. You made the chainsaw lancer from Gears of War,
right? And Gears of War, that was one of the very first things I built for them. Yes,
just watching you just put that together and just spray it and turning this toy gun, sawing stuff off, and just using stuff that everyone has. So it literally shows that anybody could do it. Like, I guaranteed, like, your dad probably has this saw out in the shed. Go get it, and then cut the top of the gun off, and then add this. And here's a pen that I just took apart and used as the suppressor, and it just that kind of stuff. And it just and seeing the stuff that you've done there, and then seeing like the Sintra stuff you made a bunch of stuff out of Sintra and like different parts of stuff to make a prop and stuff. Seeing you go from that to your own show where you're making things like Mecha Godzilla and like Captain America's shield and like all the swords and the staffs and stuff you made, and a full Gundam suit and all that. Seeing from like where you came from, doing like, here's how like to really cheaply make a costume, to this is cosplay. Like, this is how this is, like, this ain't cheap. This is this is how you do it. Like, and
right.
Just I love seeing the transition from that.
Thank you. Thank you. I still think I have in the back of my head a little bit the frugal budget aspect of it.
Yeah.
I don't use Warbler, and I've never been drawn to it because of its price tag. I'll be honest. It is a fantastic medium.
I've had a piece in my hand. I've had a piece in my hand and I've bent it a bit, but I've never actually used it or tried to use it for something, because it's heavy as well. So many friends of mine have made horns and stuff from it, and I'm like, cool, can I hold your shoulder piece? And it's like, that weighs so much. It's like, yeah, it's all Warbler, and it's like,
right, but it's strong, it's super easy to work with. Yeah. It's just at $70 for a poster size sheet.
Yeah,
that's
no, thank you. No, thank you. Like, I posted an image on my Facebook some time ago when my foam order arrived, and it's just a giant trolley.
Are picking up the
and it's just a huge packs of foam, like 2 meters long by 1 meter wide, and I'm like, I only use foam. It's just, that's all I use. Thank you so much, Mr. Titan, for the host there. Really, really appreciate it. Welcome. But yeah, it's just, I can't get over using Warbler, or even using like casting resin and stuff. I haven't done that kind of stuff yet. The closest I've gotten to is a friend of mine called Warp Raven Cosplay made me an amazing mold for my my purity seals for my Iron Warrior, and it's my helmet cast into these. But these are just hot glue. These are just cast in. Sure. These are just hot glue, and that's as far as I've gotten. Like, I haven't got any resin or anything like that. They're just hot glue. So, and then I just paint them up, and then they look the part. but I haven't gotten
Right.
into casting and stuff yet. Is casting resin and sort of making 2-part molds and stuff something you look like you're going to get into, or are you still strictly,
I haven't done it on the show, but I've done it for years. I was making 2 and 3-part molds back in the 90s, recasting Lego parts, recasting model parts, making my own stuff. I still, at this point, I use a lot of casting resin as almost like a glue. I'll take a large size thing and put a small thing in it, and then I'll just pour resin to glue them together.
If it works, it works. It's like, if you do that and it sticks together and it works and it's solid, then you're fine. That's literally it. Like when people ask me, like, why do you use hot glue? And like, because it's easy and it's cheap. And it's just it's super fun to do.
It's a seal. Traditionally, it should be hot wax, so we're good.
So yeah, exactly. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't used wax yet. I do want to melt wax and pour it into one of the molds and see if I can make an actual wax seal of the seal. I would love to do that at some point. That'd be kind of fun. But
yeah, you'll just want to get the hard wax, not a paraffin. But yeah.
But well, no, not the paraffin. No. I have got a note I put down here. On average, how many poor cats have you starved of cat toys over the years? These poor cats. These poor cats trying to play with the toys. Odin's just like, nope, that's mine. I'm gonna cut it in half, and it's now this. And do you have a whole box of them? Are you serious? Look at all the cat toys.
I have a couple of things. I do have a whole box. It's just over there, and I'm tethered to the microphone. But I went on to Alibaba. Actually, one of my patrons in Ireland said, "Hey, here are these," and so I went and bought. I've got a shoebox full of yellow and black cat toys.
I love it. Because that almost became, that's pretty much like a meme on your channel now. It's like, oh, here come the cat toys. Here come the cat toys.
It's like, all right, well, being an American, I'm going to use my own measurement. I'm going to make this 4 cat toys tall by Or
what's the one where we were all in the voice chat? We were talking about measurements and stuff with some friends of ours from Canada and the US, and we were all chatting and stuff. We were saying, how many like football fields per bald eagle times like hamburger times like freedom units is this? And it's just like how many
60,
gallons? Like, how many ranch dressing bottles tall is this? Like anything we can think of, and it's just like
that's right.
And then they tell us, they're just like, yeah, of course, like you guys measure correctly, and it's just like, I guess, but it is great. It is great.
It's all units. It's a popularity contest of what unit you want to use. But no, obviously metric is a way superior system. But I grew up with the whole standard knowing inches and fractions and whatnot. So it's just I can judge fairly decently using that system, so I'm comfortable with it.
Honestly,
but having a worldwide audience, I really enjoy mixing up. Like, I'm going to make this 2 inches tall by 55 millimeters wide, and sir, I do that intentionally.
Oh god, that must annoy so many people. Because don't get me wrong, the way I do it is like if I'm working on something, for example, like something like that, I'll do it in millimeters. That's that's easy.
Of course.
If I'm doing something like the Iron Warrior logo or something, again, I'll do that. It's small enough to do that. But then if I'm doing something like something like this, like I'll probably change to inches. Like the Gundam shield, I did all in inches.
Right.
I did that in inches for the height and the width and stuff, and then like the little pieces like the boxes and the star and stuff, I use millimeters. It's just I chop and change all the time. But if I'm doing something huge, like I have a incredibly long executioner sword that's as tall as me, it's monstrously tall. I'm not going to use millimeters. That's going to be ridiculous. I'm just use inches.
Right.
It's like, it's X amount of inches long. That'll do. Like, or
that's good.
The one I never use is meters. I never use like a prop is this many meters long. I never do that. I just use inches.
Oh, okay.
I just inches.
It's never 1.2 meters long.
It's like 1.2 is fine, but it's just like, but how many inches is it? It's like convert.
Right.
It's just easier that way. Again, so many people in chat would probably use different stuff. Some people would probably just stick to one or stick to the other, or use, whatever you use it. You use it. That's
if you want build out qubits, it's fine. Just whatever you want to use.
How do you view yourself as a cosplayer? Because obviously you've got this massive following. You've got the fame. Right. People know you. I mean, Evil Ted was saying in one of my comments earlier, being like, "Oh my god, I love this guy. I can't wait for that, for you to have him on." I'm hoping Ted will pop by, hopefully. But
I hope he's watching. Ted is such an awesome guy.
Ted is a legend. Ted's so popular that he has his own command in my chat for his links when he jumps into my chat.
Oh, really? Oh, that's awesome.
So yeah, once he jumps in, my mods just click his link in, and then off it goes. It does the thing.
That's very cool. Okay, so how do I view myself as a cosplayer? We're getting back to the whole fame thing, where I think a lot of other people think I'm more famous than I think I am. I enjoy it, and I enjoy making stuff. I think I enjoy helping other people make stuff still. It goes back to wanting to be kind of behind the camera. I had some patrons and some friends come by this last weekend, and we worked on the Lady Sif outfit and a couple of other pieces like Bo-Katan and stuff. And it was a lot of fun to work with them and not be recording, not building for the camera,
not just doing it on camera.
That was just really enjoyable. I am looking forward to getting to wear Mechagodzilla because I had a lot of fun doing Thanos. So I'm going to enjoy it, and I know I will. But ultimately, I'm okay just sort of being me and helping other people do their cosplays. If that makes any sense. I'm happy being crew.
That makes sense. Yeah. I do the same. Like if a friend of mine's like, "Oh, I'm trying to do this," and I was like, "You need help? Like we're really close friends. If you need help, come to the workshop. We can build it together."
We can do this.
I love that.
You're buying the beer.
By the way, thank you so much, Kenneth Cosplay, for the 100 biddies. Thank you so much. Welcome.
Oh wow.
Honestly, it's really cool when you're building with somebody else. But have you ever? Because you do this, have you ever been building something with someone and then turned to the camera?
Yes, same person, same weekend. They like, I'm doing something and I start talking to myself and working out what I'm doing, and they step back. He's doing the thing. He's actually doing the thing.
I think some of my favorite bits are like you talk to camera and you'll do the whole, I'm building this is Mechagodzilla, that kind of thing. But then I love the ones where you'll look at something like a piece of PVC pipe and you'll just go, yeah, fuck it, that'll do.
Right.
It's just like, yes, like I've done that. You just picked up something one time. Don't ask me what it was for. I think it was for the Barrett gun,
whatever,
which is one of my favorite things. You just picked up and you were like, oh damn, that could go there.
Yeah, that'll work.
And then you just took it, yeah, that'll work. That's it, exactly that. You were just like, oh yeah, that'll work. And it's like, hell yeah. It's just like, that's his. It's like, that's Odin's thing. And I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. But seriously, that's a great answer. I love that. But in terms of, I know we've already said like, what advice, we would give to somebody, just starting off, and it's like, just jump into it, that kind of thing. But would you say for like a seasoned cosplayer, someone who has like been doing it, would you ever suggest your own videos to them, being like, hey, if you want to build one of these, I've made one, go watch my video, and then they've come back to you and said, holy crap, I just built one of these thanks to your video. For example, For example,
well, I had this really good buddy at Iron Warrior Cosplay that totally ripped off my.
Oh my god!
No, you can't rip off my stuff when I'm putting it out there for other people to use. Absolutely,
I love that. I love that.
The few times I've been able to do that with some, because whenever I do get to meet up with like really famous cosplayers, it's at a con. And we're talking about stuff, and of course they talk about what they're doing, or on occasion, like there was one time when DIY Prop Shop actually had a booth, and I was there, and Hendo was working on getting Marceline put together, and they're talking about how they're going to glue this neoprene piece to something else, and the glue they show me, it's like, well, that's not going to stick. I mean, that'll work for like 5 minutes, but it's going to fall off because it won't stick. And they kind of look at me. It's like, oh, I've tried before. It's not going to work. And that was, I don't know how many times I've talked about, no, this adhesive will work with that. This adhesive won't work with that. And that you'll never be able to glue because it's vinyl and it can go fuck itself.
Yeah, no, I could not agree more. Like, vinyl is just not something you want to work with.
No.
What's that? You're going to use vinyl? Don't use it. Use something else.
Don't use it. Cloth back vinyl is great because you can actually do stuff with the cloth. And if you're going to sew it, it's great. And vinyl has its place. But having come across so many things that were cast vinyl or wanting, and unless you buy some really toxic, harsh chemicals, you can't do anything with it.
It's just not. There's just no point doing it. Like I got asked at a con about the handle I made for my chainswords and the book I made for a friend of mine, saying it looked like leather because I did the heat gun tin foil technique, and just pushed the tin foil into it kind of thing, and then dry brushed it, and they were just like, it looks like leather, and I'm like, yeah. It's like, why didn't you use leather? I'm like, why use leather when I can ball up a piece of tin foil and shove it into the foam with a heat gun? Like, if I can do that and it's cheaper, why buy leather? Even if it's faux leather, like it's
right.
just. And I think it's just so funny.
Yeah, I've gone to charity shops to get leather pieces for my different cosplays.
Oh,
For the
yeah,
stuff that I wanted.
I've been given
Yeah,
free
but
leather, like free strips and stuff, and
yeah,
just like have what offcuts and stuff, and that's great. But sometimes their pieces are so small, it's like there's no point using this.
right.
It's
No,
like,
there's no point.
we have had a Hail Hydrate from Kenneth Cosplay. Thank you so much, Hail Hydrate.
Hail Hydrate.
It's currently it's quite hot with you guys right now, isn't it? If I'm right in saying it's actually colder here now than it was than we've been having.
Well, I've got a portable AC pointed at me.
Awesome.
So hopefully you're not hearing the noise. So it's not so bad in my shop, but no, it's supposed to be like 102 Fahrenheit today. So
that's pretty toasty though, because obviously
that's still pretty darn toasty.
it's
Yeah,
still toasty because like we had I think the highest we had was 37 degrees C we had here. Again, conversion mods, dude, the conversion 37
mods,
to Fahrenheit.
Conversion.
But yeah, that was the hottest we had it here, and it was sweltering hot, like it was boiling hot. Because
Right.
it's funny, like having to like explain to some people when they're just like, oh, that's not very hot. It's this degrees Fahrenheit here, and it's like fair enough. But most of your homes, if not all of them, are air conditioned. Like there's air conditioning in your houses, and like even like buildings, they're not designed specifically to hold all the heat in always.
No.
Whereas in the UK, all the houses aren't air conditioned, and all the houses are designed with insulation between the walls to hold as much, if not all, the heat into the house to keep it warm during the winter. So during the summer, it's impossible to keep the house cool. You have to open every window and every door, and it's just impossible. Oh, there you go. It was 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit here. That was the hottest it was here, which is hefty.
It's pretty, and then the humidity you're going to have is going to greatly affect that.
Yeah, I think
Sacramento. I'm in Sacramento. It's not that bad. We're in the middle of the valley. Our humidity level isn't that bad, but still, because if you get in the shade, even the shade of a tree, there's a huge difference in temperature. But if you have a high humid area, the air is just hot. You can't get away from it.
I think someone described it as you can take a bite out of the air. You can take a bite out of it. They said it was so. There you go. I was literally about to say Nate the Chill Valhallan can probably tell us how humid it was because that's all he spoke about. It wasn't how hot it was. It was how humid it was. It was 75% humidity we had. Like
that's brutal.
the air is chunky. It was awful.
Yes.
Out of all the events that you've done,
we can go down to Death Valley, and that has no humidity, even though it's 130 degrees. It has no humidity, so you go outside, and you're going to burn, and it's uncomfortable, but you don't feel like you're going to immediately die. Anyway,
the fact that it's called Death Valley, though,
it's called Death Valley.
Death Valley,
place in California. Death Valley.
God, Death Valley.
I'm sure it earned its name. My favorite trivia about Death Valley: the ranger stations that are out there. There's the piping to bring the water into the stations and into the hot water tanks so they can have hot water in the winter, right? Well, those pipes have valves so they can switch them in the summer. So the pipes that are under the ground that's being warmed up outside is now your hot water, and the hot water heater is turned off in the summer so that cools off so you can have cool water.
That's madness.
Because it hasn't been heated up. Right.
That's madness. That is madness. I'm loving that. That is. God, it's thing is it's here. It's like in the summer the water is freezing cold because obviously the pipes are all buried, so it's super cold. Yeah. But in the winter we have to wrap all our outdoor pipes and stuff in as much insulation as possible to keep them from bursting.
Master has given us a mighty prize indeed.
There was a mad dash about 10 years ago in my area where everything all of a sudden had to get wrapped up because it suddenly got that cold because it never gets that cold.
I'm loving that.
You started to talk about something else.
Shrivel has just donated £30 towards my PC upgrade and has just said, get some good scrap for your PC, Umi Daka Boys. The Daka Boys, because that's an orc talk from Warhammer 40k. Thank you so much, Shrivel. I really, really appreciate it. Seriously, thank you so much.
Shrivel, thank you.
I'm going to get that. I'm going to get some parts of the PC, a new PSU mainly, as we were talking about before the stream. It was just like, I need a new PSU. Get that damn thing fixed. But out of all the events and stuff you've done, what is the funniest cosplay you have out of like it doesn't have to be something embarrassing, but if it's like because I tell you, I have stories about conventions that would just make you
I'm sure
die with laughter. It's just the hilarity of it sometimes.
Right. Wow. Funniest. Am I gonna be able to remember one and pull one out?
That's the thing. It's always trying to remember that just one story at least, if not like 10. Like
Right.
they'll all come
Because
to you.
there's like cringy things where I am so glad nobody got hurt. But
yeah, I feel you
funniest. I can pull out one that's that happened to Joe, but that's not my story. Yeah, I'm really not terribly sure. There's tripping and being goofy and weird.
Ooh, what cosplay?
You
What
get
cosplay have you tripped in?
Actually, Vacation Thanos.
Vacation Thanos? No way.
Yes,
Oh,
I was getting
man.
up on stage. We went to the Georgia Aquarium was doing this cosplay thing, and they had a stage set up. So it was just fun. It was part of Dragon Con. Well, in order to get flip-flops that fit me, I had to buy a size too big so they'd be wide enough. So I had like this extra 1.5 inches of whatever flip-flop sticking out the front. So as I come up the stairs, I catch the top stair on the front of that shoe, and I just went straight down. The poor DJ is all freaked out. It's like, I'm all right. It's okay. I fell again. But that's not that funny. But
I tell you, the amount of cosplayers I've seen, I've been walking behind in the Iron Warrior. My friend Daniel Theophani, the legend that he is, he was wearing his. He made a Reinhardt from Overwatch. He made a full-size Reinhardt.
Yeah.
And
he's a great-looking character.
What he did was he added a dash of Baymax into it, so it's Baymax colors, red and purple for the armored Baymax, and it has the eyes and everything in the helmet, and it's amazing. The hammer is again like Baymax's hand with like a fist on the end of it, and it's amazing. And he was walking in front of me, and then I had David Roth in his Space Marine behind me, and I was walking in the middle in my Space Marine. We were walking like that, and he just went down. But what I love about Sci-Fi Weekender is no one took their phones out, no one laughed, no one pointed. Everyone ran over and immediately started taking panels and helmets and stuff off of him, and immediately got him back up off the ground, and then got him just straight back into it, and then he just carried on walking. Yeah. It's like, let's go, forget it happened, keep going.
Keep going. Yeah, actually, I agree with you. I think that the few times either that I've fallen or I've seen someone else fall, the general reaction is run over and help, not point and laugh. I don't think I've seen that. That may be just kind of the community in general. We're not, again, for the newbies, no one is there to make fun of you. No one. You're part of the thing that we all want to do, and we all want to support you because we think 100%. It's fun too. So yeah, 100%. I don't think I've ever seen anyone get laughed at like that.
I've never.
So, I agree.
I've seen some footage on YouTube that someone has happened to have been filming while they're walking, and then suddenly they'll fall. That I've seen that, but I've never seen someone rip their phone out to film someone who's just fallen over. That kind of thing. So it's Mr. Titan was saying he knows the feeling about falling on stage. I was an MC at London Film and Comic Con, and Mr. Titan was in his full Titan cosplay from Warhammer 40k, and they were trying to get his foot up on stage, and his brother picked his foot up, and he ended up going forward and smashing the front of the cosplay on stage, which was. But again, there's no footage of it anywhere. There's no photos of it anywhere because everyone just went over to help him. It was that kind of case, which is what you need to see in the cosplay community, is just people supporting other people. Literally in this case, like literally supporting them while helping them. Literally. So, but other than that, obviously, we'll move on to a question which is an odd one that I've added not quite long ago, but I've added it here, which is, do you have a favorite cosplayer? Someone that you look up to, considering that so many people probably there's a lot of people who look up to you probably for, cosplay ideas, confidence and obviously prop tutorial videos and patterns even, all that good stuff. Is there anyone you look up to that you think, holy crap, that person's amazing? Everyone in chat knows mine, and mine's Adam Savage from Mythbusters and Tested. Adam Savage is like one of my, one of my goals in life is to have him on stream, which would be mind-blowing.
Oh, wouldn't that be amazing?
It would be mind-blowing.
I'd love to meet Adam Savage. I could absolutely say Adam Savage. I got to meet Tori Bellici once, and that was great. He's freaking cool. Yeah.
Tori's awesome. Oh my god, that is so cool.
So yeah, totally Adam Savage. Otherwise, actually, Evil Ted Smith. Especially with DIY Prop Shop, there's a couple of times I would go on to Evil Ted's channel and go, okay, I need to do this thing. How did Ted do it? and went, all right, and then I'll go and did it for DIY Prop Shop.
There's so many videos that Ted's done that I've followed as well, like with different pattern making and stuff. Like he's there, he's with you, he's up there, and he's just a popularity.
He's
and
there.
It's amazing.
And Bill and Britt, Punish Props, same thing. There's been many times that I've gone to check on what they're done. Yeah,
Punish Props is amazing.
So,
I have had the image of the Jason Voorhees sent to me on the on my cosplay
cool.
on my cosplay page. So I've had that sent. So my mods have posted it into the Discord. So if you guys want to go check it out, it is in the Discord. I'll probably send it to Odin after stream if he wants to have a look at it, and if he has any information,
cool.
I'll get back to you on that in terms of making a chain for your Jason Voorhees.
Right.
But with conventions and stuff, obviously you've worn a lot of cosplays to different events and stuff, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But you've also had your booth a lot of events as well.
Right.
I know, like I've seen some
booth
pictures.
is fun.
Yeah, I've seen pictures of you with all your props and stuff on there, and your Transformers. What's it called?
Oh yes, the Matrix of Leadership.
The Matrix of Leadership.
Yeah.
I'm blanking out. That thing was amazing. When I watched you make that, I was like, he's not going to make it split apart. And then you're like, so this is where it's going to split apart. And I was like, how is he going to? And then when I saw how you did it, I was like, that's just, because I had no idea. I had in my head, I was like, is he going to use like clear acrylic and make it, go in and out kind of thing? Is he going to do that? So like that kind of thing
could work.
But the way you did it was so much nicer. It was just cleaner because it looked like it was floating properly. I loved that. I thought that was actually great. But how many conventions have you done? Whether it's the booth or in cosplay otherwise, but how many events have you done? Do you think? Do you think you've done
as Odin Makes, or just as myself?
I would say cosplay or as Odin Makes. With a booth so people can go up, and because I know you've had several hundred interviews at conventions.
Oh, I've had so many. Yeah, I've been to a lot of conventions just to go, and I've been invited to a few conventions for doing panels and stuff. But honestly, probably not as many as you think. It might just be a couple of dozen to maybe the 40s at the most. Not that many. It's like a few times a year. It's not.
You see, that's quite interesting. I thought it would have been in the hundreds at least. Especially
if you want to go back to all the days that I worked Star Trek conventions, with creation conventions back in the 80s and the 90s, yeah, maybe. But as far as more recently, I mean, I make it to most of the local ones that I can drive to. I get to, and then I've got friends and down in the Bay Area that I can go crash with if I want to go down to those cons. But ones where I really have to travel to get to it, just because of the size of the United States, it becomes long flights, dealing with paying for the rooms. It becomes more than I can comfortably spend having a YouTube channel where I'm trying to support my family with it as well.
100%, 100%.
This is my full-time job.
Yeah, I was going to say, because literally your day-to-day job is you go to your workshop and you build stuff and make videos. It's how you do it.
Exactly, yeah. And all the Google AdSense and all the Raid Shadow Legend sponsorship, all that stuff pays my home rent. And right now the patrons are paying for my shop, which is, again, super grateful. But there's not a whole lot of extra travel money in there.
No, but
however, for everyone who's listening, my wife has said I can go to any con I want to go to if it's paid for.
Hey, there you go. Odin's Patreon is there in the chat if you guys want to go click on that. I tell you this though, this the same thing with me. Without my community, without my friends and amazing community that I have here, I wouldn't be doing this. I wouldn't be doing it. Like the whole idea behind my t-shirts was because I got a friend of mine made me one, and people were like, "You should make t-shirts." So I asked people if they wanted t-shirts, and I had such good feedback from it that I decided to get them made. And this was done by Richard Burgess. This is a photo that he took of me, and then he edited this, and he was like, "Don't pay me for it, have it, sell your t-shirts, do your thing." And I was just eternally grateful for that. And that
that's
helped
amazing.
Me out. So that helped me out a lot. So I've got a few of these. I'm running out of these now. I'm actually running out of these now. I need to get some more done because they've been like a surge of sales has just suddenly happened. I'm like, oh my god, I'm selling t-shirts again. Just like packing them up and sending them out. I took a stack the other day to the post office, just carrying the stack like that. Walked in and was like,
wow,
t-shirt to America, t-shirt to the Netherlands, t-shirt to America, t-shirt to America. And they're like, oh my god, you got to fill out a little slip for all of them. I got to fill like this little
each and every one of them. Right.
So frustrating. It's like, we have a question from Dribs 2019. What project took you the longest to do?
It'll probably be Mechagodzilla, because I started Mechagodzilla last year.
Yeah, you did.
And I'm still working on it. Now I let those projects drag out because I try to produce a video a week. And so when it comes time to work on Mechagodzilla, well, that's the week he gets. And then it gets shelved for 3 weeks while I do something else.
Plus you do your live streams as well.
Yeah, and I do my live streams as well, exactly. So that's a whole nother day out of the week, right? Yeah. And we did the Witcher build for the live streams. That took a little while, but that was one where we only worked on it while the live stream was happening. And nothing really else ever happened outside of what happened on screen. The single most one is probably Behind Me, Soul Edge. That was usually I try to do everything within a week. That was a good 3 or 4 weeks, and try to do other things around with it in order to get it to work. But generally, I'm pretty hyper focused on one thing at a time. I don't really have a whole lot of stuff in the queue that I'm kind of balancing. I've done it a few times, but it's weird trying to shoot it because, all right, I got this done. Now I need to do a step for the other thing, and I got to clear everything off the table, bring everything back onto the table, and start doing.
And then start doing that.
Yeah, and at that point, whatever I was waiting to dry is dry. So
it's the same here. Once I take a commission on, the commission is my focus. Once I've got something I'm doing for myself, I'll just do it for myself. And if it's small enough, like I made myself this the combat knife for my Iron Warrior. Whereas Chapter Master Valrak, who I mentioned before, who commissioned me to do the shoulders for him, was like, hey, I really like that. Can you make me one as well? Well, because it's so small and quite easy to do, and the whole thing is laser cut with it's got a metal bar inside it. It's got like an aluminium bar inside it.
Nice.
So the laser does all the work. The laser literally cuts out all the parts, and then you just glue it together. It's literally as easy as that. It's one of the things I wanted to do as a kit, and it even cuts the strip out that goes down the middle between that holds the two sides together, and it's all like laser cut and done that. But I've only managed to, obviously I sold the one and I've got that one, but this one's working out really well. I've been trying to figure out ways to improve it, but I'm just really happy with the way it's come out. So
Sweet.
We've had a hydrate from Zug, one of my moderators. Thank you so much, Zug, you absolute hero.
Hey, I'll hydrate.
You are gonna need to pee after this stream.
You did what? This cup? Yeah.
Oh my god! You just take the water bottle and just like, out of all the cosplays that you've done, what would you say is the most uncomfortable cosplay you've ever done? You like the one you've worn that you've been like, you've come out of it bruised and battered and pinched and just all that kind of stuff.
First thing comes to mind is some of the early Guar stuff that we did where it was just spray painted polyfoam. Because if you just take couch foam and spray paint it, you turn it into a sanding sponge.
Yep. That's, I've learned that the hard way.
Oh, yeah, that sucks. That's probably it. Because Darkness, so I made Darkness from Legend a couple of times, right? The first one I made was, again, a lot of polyfoam built on top of a T-shirt, wrapped with latex, so on and so forth. And then I wore it to a Renaissance fair because that would be fun. And it was, and Heatstroke was a lot of fun.
I fucking bet it was. Good God.
One of the guys comes out going, okay, we're used to this with people in leather, and you can see the body language they got going on. Yeah. Well, this is a concoction we made. We call it dragon piss. And the better it tastes is the worse that you need it. Because if it's bitter, then you don't need it. I want you to give it a try. It's like, it tastes like Kool-Aid. It's like, let me get you more.
Good.
It was like concentrated Gatorade.
God. That's dedication. Like, you're just gonna fun. I'll drink this viscous liquid that I've just been handed. Just down
I have no idea what it is, but some random noble just walked up, handed to the devil. Sure, why not?
I love that. I think that's amazing. Holy crap. Same goes then, is like, what is the most comfortable? Like, you must have one that's like you could wear it every day.
Right. Well, I dress up like a YouTuber a lot.
Oh my God, I should have worn just a black t-shirt. Damn it. I should have worn like a black button t-shirt and just been like,
yeah, you just get a black polo shirt.
Damn it. Although I think the
dedication to for being a full cosplay was really comfortable because it's nothing. I did a Beetlejuice cosplay when the movie was still in the theaters, and that was just a painted suit with a makeup that I had made, and that was no big deal to wear. I wore that one forever. It's a lot of stuff like that where it's a little more standard type of, almost clothing. It becomes no big deal to wear. it's the big foam suits, the big fur suits. Those can get to be a little. I made a Wookiee suit or a Sasquatch suit, and if you want to go quick and find it, the only evidence I have on it online is a music video from a band called the Groovy Ghoulies, and it's called Running with Bigfoot.
These bands are great.
Yes.
These bands that you've mentioned are fantastic.
So the song's called Running with Bigfoot. And so I'm Bigfoot. I'm wearing this suit, which is basically hair extensions that I've tied to a football jersey jumpsuit that I made.
Oh my!
So it's all 10-inch long hair and all blows in the wind. But when the because it's a net suit underneath it, when the wind does blow, it goes right through it and blows all of the heat out. And that one's no big deal to wear as long as you're not in the direct sunlight.
I love that. Just
hair
hair extensions. You wore that to Burning Man?
I wore it at night, but I wore it to Burning Man. Yes.
I would. Oh my god, I would kill to go to Burning Man. Just seeing the mad shit that goes on in Burning Man is just.
It is mad shit. All right.
Oh my god.
I go to Burning Man for the costumes and for the art, and I've never been disappointed. There was some German guys that came out and set up a big glass blowing booth right on like the main street. And they're just out there blowing glass the whole week, doing their thing.
Ranger of Krieg,
really
one of my
cool.
moderators, has just found the Running with Bigfoot music video. It is there in the chat if you guys want to go have a look at that. Oh my god.
Running with Bigfoot. Yeah.
That's so cool.
I'm also in another one called Till Death Do Us Party from the same band. And that's the spaceship hallway set. I built that with my friend Joe Gillis, and I'm the villain in that video too.
Because with the sets you've built like I can't get over it. It genuinely blows me away every time I think about it. I mentioned it in the intro. You built the inside of a DeLorean.
Yep. Just the inside.
Yeah,
yes.
Literally, it was just that, and the way you just sat in it, the way you got in it, and you had the flux capacity there, and you just sat there. I was just like, that's mad. So what did you build that for? Because I'm not gonna lie to you, that was sometime I watched that video. But what was that for?
Yeah, when I built that, I wasn't allowed to say, which was kind of a bummer.
Yeah, because it was that
was built for some Google execs. I had another local filmmaking friend that got hired by this group of execs that for an internal thing only, like we were hoping it was going to be for Google Day or something, one of the things where they show off new products, but it wasn't. It was some internal thing. They all wanted to cut themselves into movies. So they're all using different modes of transportation that's a movie style transportation to try to get to this meeting that they're all late for. So one guy wanted to be in the DeLorean for Back to the Future. So we built this inside set so you could have him driving the DeLorean at night, and then he'd cut to some of the scenes of Marty driving the DeLorean around at night from the movie, right? So the two things could cut together.
Oh my God.
Another set that I built that wasn't in the video, we had to go out and get, I pulled all the parts from the back end of a Corsica, and we rebuilt the back of the car from the beginning of La La Land. So there's a movie where they're in the traffic jam in the middle of the LA freeway in La La Land. They get out and start doing their song and dance. Well, she's in the backseat of that first green car. She's just like hammering the roof. What are you doing? Why are you singing? I'm like, get back here and drive this car. And that was, what they were doing. And someone else was writing Secretariat. It was just what they wanted to do.
I mean, look, if they wanted to do it and they commissioned you to do it, then no questions asked.
Yep.
Like,
I got to be part of the crew.
But that Back to the Future, that DeLorean set inside the car was just. I was laughing so much because when you got into it, I was just crying. I thought it was the funniest thing I'd ever seen, and I was just like, "What? I want that. I want to put like straps on it so I can wear it and just walk around a con and just have it on me, and just have another set of like buckles next to me. Have someone stand next to me. We'll have to like direct each other on which way we want to go.
One of the things I saw when I went to Dragon Con in 2019, somebody did Toonses, the driving cat, the Saturday Night Live skit. So it was just like this windshield cutout with the cat puppet, and they had either a video monitor or a projection monitor behind them for the rear screen of driving. So then you could step into this car with the cat driving it, and it's like, because you're going to crash,
Oh my God.
I thought that was a great interactive cosplay.
Genuinely, the madness you have gotten into. Here's me thinking like I've done some crazy stuff, but then you just trounced up. I've just been asked from Dribs 2019. I'm a cosplay. What were the best cosplays you've seen? One of mine is I saw a Falcon at WrexhamCon. What's one of the best cosplays you've ever seen?
Wow. man, I'm impressed by so much stuff so
yeah,
often.
same. I'm trying to think of something
and,
now, and
and a lot of the times I'm impressed by how somebody pulls it off, not necessarily the intricate artistic perfection of it, but just the fact that you did that and that looks freaking great. There was a Statler in Waldorf that I just keep remembering again from Dragon Con. Because they did they look like the Muppets, the big full body suits. And what they would do is they'd walk up to any of the balconies in the hotel and then just look down and start judging people. It was great.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we have a raid from Ash. Mash Ashy, thank you so much for the raid. Here come the baked potatoes. Thank you so much. A party of 7. Welcome, everyone, to the Iron Warrior Cosplay Q&A. For those of you who don't know, my name is Iron Warrior Cosplay. I am doing the Iron Warrior Cosplay Q&A live stream. My guest tonight is the wonderful Odin Makes. For those of you who don't know, Odin is an absolutely legendary cosplay prop maker from America, and if you guys haven't already, please follow his links. My moderators will throw the links up in the chat there. Please stay, enjoy. We are somewhat through our Q&A stream right now, but we've got plenty more questions coming through. Please stay and join us. Thank you so much for coming. Really appreciate the raid, Mashy. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Mine, I don't know. There's so many cosplays I've seen that I think are amazing, and it just blows my mind. Do you know what? I don't think I can mention one. There's too many. There's literally too many. It's too many.
There's always something at every con that is like, that's the cosplay that impresses me at the con.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's the little kid in a xenomorph. You know?
It's just running around.
It's not what you would think it is. Yeah.
You see like a full size, like let's say, for example, like a full size Gundam just walk by you, but then you see like this tiny Gundam right next to me, like that's the coolest cosplay I've ever seen.
That's the cool one. You have this show perfect, accurate cosplay of like Jon Snow, and then over here you've got, some mashup with something else I can't even make a joke out of, and it's like, that one's cool. No offense, John. This is cool,
We have a question here from Oculus. I'm not going to read the whole username because I'm not sure how to pronounce it. So I'm going to say Oculus or Oculus or Bus. I think it is, but I'm not sure how to say it properly.
Oculus Orbus. Okay.
Oculus Orbus. Yeah, there you go. Thank you so much. I'm so bad at reading out usernames. Don't even. I
can't even see it. I'm guessing.
What prop have you made that you will never part with? Not counting Soul Edge. What prop have you made?
They know me.
They know you, because look. I mean, who would part with that? No one would part with that. I mean, that doesn't count the fact that when you pack up Barrett's gun and you send it to me, just let me know. Just
right. Let's pack it gently. Let's go on off to Iron Warrior, so this is okay.
I was literally telling Odin before the stream started, I was like, you're selling your props, and I'm going onto your page every day, like every other day, to just look at, like, is he selling Barrett's gun? I want Barrett's gun. Like, I watched that video. I watched that video just like, sometimes I'll get some food, I'll come upstairs, I'll be going through, check all my notifications, like, I'm going to watch him build the Barrett gun again. I'll just watch you build it. And it's just like, why am I doing this to myself? Why am I doing this to myself? I'm just hurting myself. I want this gun. It's madness. It is madness. But yeah, what prop have you made that
I just will not part with?
Will not part with.
I'm looking around here as if something's going to jump right out. That's not Soul Edge, right?
No, that's not Soul Edge. That's not Soul Edge.
Well, I'm really attached to the Matrix of Leadership. I really like that one because it was one of the earlier ones that I did.
The Matrix of Leadership is such a nice prop. It is. It's the fact that it comes apart.
That's the thing.
And the mechanism and the mechanism you've got to do it as well is so simple, yet it's so awesome when you just pull it apart. It's like, fuck it, I just can't. It's too good. It's too good. It's like that and Barrett's gun. It's just like there's so much stuff that you've done. I'm just like, I like that. I really like it. Like when you made Captain America's shield. And I was looking, someone had asked me if I could make them a Wonder Woman shield. But I was like, how the hell am I going to make a curved shield thing? When I saw the way you did it, I was like, that's awesome. It was the middle of winter. And I'm like, well, I can't do that.
Right.
So it's like...
It was December when I did it. So it like lived in my truck for 4 or 5 days just to get it hot enough to do it.
It was just, man. And I was just thinking, there is no way I could do it during the winter. So I'd have to wait until like the summer and like make 2 or 3 of them. And then just have them in storage ready for when I need to make a shield. But it's is it the same one you've got behind you then? The one you made the Captain America, the broken shield? Is it the same shield? It's the same shield.
It's the same shield. That's the only Captain America shield I made.
And you just cut it up and.
I just cut into that one video, and that was a whole nother friend. It's like, I dare you. I bet you wouldn't be willing to do that. It's like, oh yeah, we can do that. Let's shoot it.
Let's just cut this damn thing up. Let's fucking do it. Yeah. Honestly.
And then as I cut in the video, you'll notice one point it suddenly zooms in closer to while I'm doing the cutting. That's because I had forgotten how much leather strap I had put inside of it. So we were going to do it in just one take, but as the saw hit the leather strap, everything was moving and it wasn't cutting the leather. So had to stop, figure out what was wrong, get the leather out of the way, bring the camera in closer so I could edit, and then continue the cut.
But it's one cut. For anyone watching that video, it's one cut.
Yeah.
It's one cut, one take. So if you couldn't part with a prop, I would love to know which one.
Right. Which one? Right. Well, I was thinking Matrix of Leadership I'm really super attached to. I really like the, oddly enough, it's not one that I made. I really like the Dragon Balls that Sherby made me.
those are
and I've got one that's, aren't they so great? And I've got one he made to put my enamel pin in it. So I've got an Odin Makes Dragon Ball.
So sick.
Yeah, it's really rough because in the back of my mind, I can make it again. I won't, but
yeah, exactly. It's like, it's I made one of these. I could make another one, but I'm not gonna make another.
I could.
I'm not gonna lie to you. After the headache this Gundam Shield gave me, I don't think I'm making another one ever. It was just.
We're probably never gonna make another Gundam Shield either.
It was so much. It was such a headache to get. It's the angles and stuff that I had to get right and get everything. Oh, it gave me such a headache.
Yeah. And then the way the Gundam shields are made, they work really well with the model kits. They work really well for a giant mech. They're not ergonomic for a human at all.
Not at all, not at all. But luckily, this one is light enough that I'm hoping it doesn't kill his wrist the whole day he's holding it.
Right.
So it's light enough. So we'll see what happens. But we'll see. Right. We'll see. But the Matrix of Leadership definitely one that you would never.
Probably. I don't think I'll be No, I don't think so.
No.
I've talked about, I don't think so. Trying to think what else I got.
I don't blame you.
I really like Ash's hands, and there's a lot of other things I really like, but it's like I could probably, given enough time, that I get something else newer or like I feel like I've done better with my skills, then older things become easier to let go of. But yeah, it's like. It's weird. It's also really weird once you do start selling stuff. And because I resisted that for the longest time.
Absolutely.
But once I've had a couple of successful sales, it's like, well, I could let that go. Sure.
Seriously, I went to eBay and saw some of the prices and some of the bidding and stuff that was going on some of your props, and I was blown away. Don't get me wrong, totally,
me too.
totally worth it.
Me too.
Like worth it. It is. People have seen the work that goes into it, and they know how amazing it is, and it is a one of a kind. You've only made one.
Right.
It's one of a kind.
Well, I made one. And the one that I'm putting on eBay is the one I made in the video. It's not like I made another one.
No, exactly. And it's just so nice to see. And the price that it was legendary. It was awesome. I was really, really happy. I hope more success for you on eBay as well.
Thank you.
I'm not gonna lie, I have totally called dibs on Barrett's gun, so none of you buy it. No.
I think I've heard that. Yeah. It's a private auction just for our word.
Yeah, it's literally just private auction. It'll just be me sat there just sipping tea. Like, I'll just bid again. Just click. We have a hydrate from Diabolical Props. Hail Hydrate. Thank you so much, Diabolical Props.
Hail Hydrate, Diabolical. I did see you sent me a message, Diabolical Props. So I'll get to it after the stream.
Absolutely awesome, Diabolical Props. What an absolute legend. We have another question here. Have either of you gotten into a bit of trouble because of someone where the props were real? I got into trouble making a rifle, which was a Nerf gun originally. So have you ever gotten into... obviously, you said about the chain story. You had to leave the chain in the car because you couldn't get into a bar. But have you gotten into trouble for trying to get into an event?
Not really.
Neither have I. I'm not gonna lie.
I learned a lot of things to step around it early on. Because of all the Halloween contest things, firearms are such a weird thing that generally speaking, I just don't take them because it's just easier to not. So not really. there's been things that have been double checked when on actual productions, like shooting with Beyond Geek,
Yeah, of course.
or other things where people will come by and what do you guys got going on there? And then we show them, and then it's like, all right, you know, and because the police will understand that we can't put the orange thing on the front of the gun for the shot in the movie because it's supposed to be a real gun. But the issue is, it looks like a real gun to everyone else.
Yeah, that's the thing.
You know,
that's the thing.
In life,
like when you made Ash's chainsaw from Evil Dead. I loved the way you did that. I watched that a few times because I was thinking of making one myself, but I never got around to it. I was going to make.
I like that one a lot too.
I was going to make a disheveled. I was going to keep the beard. I was going to mess up my hair, mess up my beard, and I was going to make myself look like I'd just been through hell and back, and sort of that I've come back from time kind of thing, just to avoid shaving my beard.
Right.
I'm not going to shave. I don't want it for any cosplay. There is no cosplay that would be worth shaving my beard. I can't do it. I can't do it. By the way, we have memes coming in. By the way, one of my mods has made a meme. Your Mechagodzilla is staring directly into the camera, and there are people saying you know,
is that bad?
No, it's fine. It's fine. I just love it. It's like Mechagodzilla is looking into my soul, and one of my mods has made a meme. There's a meme from a movie where it's a girl at a party holding a solo cup, and she's like, and then I saw him. That smile, that damn smile, and it's just your Mechagodzilla. It's just looking. I will send you that. And we'll post we'll post that to the Discord as well. If you want to post that into the general chat in the Discord, Ranger of Krieg, that would be absolutely awesome. When it comes to, we're flipping the page, by the way. When it comes to,
good.
we are we a bit behind? We're a bit over schedule, are we? We're a little bit over schedule.
We're a little bit over schedule. Yeah, because unfortunately I'm not done with next week's video. So and then I've got an engagement later tonight. So my time's getting a little crunched. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to say goodnight here pretty quick. But
what we're going to do, we're going to close the chat questions. I've only got 3 or 4 more questions for you here, so it's going to be quite a nice quick fire one. But do you prefer to work?
Yes, and no.
Do you? yes, and then and maybe, and 12 of them. Do you prefer to cosplay solo, or do you like to cosplay in a group with people? Like if you could do a group cosplay, even if you're not all part of the same thing, even if you're all random different stuff, if you're in a group together.
Well, definitely enjoy being with a group. In either way, it's just fun. You got the camaraderie. You're part of the group. It probably comes back to me not wanting to be in the spotlight again. That probably sounds really funny to people. I don't mind being part of the group, and I enjoy being part of a group because you've got all these things supporting the one thing you're doing, and you become, instead of like, oh, look at that guy, he's really great, it becomes this, damn, look at them, they're all, you know, it's fun. I've done a number of group meetups where it becomes individual cosplayers all meeting up at 2:00, and you're all wearing your My Hero Academia costume, or you're all wearing your Marvel suit, and those are fun because you know, you got this, everyone's doing the same type of thing, and now you can pose with other characters, or you can pose with people who've made the same character, and you can compare notes and have, you know, Loki variants. It's fun.
Loki variants. I love that. The Loki variants of
everything is canon now. It's great.
I love that. Yeah, especially like, you know, just like, yep, you're a variant. It's like, awesome. I'm in. That's awesome. Has cosplay helped you at all with, like, you know, anxiety or anything like that, or like social anxiety or anything? If you have, obviously, for sure. Not everyone has it, obviously. I myself, I could just jump into a crowd of people and try and just befriend everyone and be like, hey, hi, whatever. It doesn't bother me one bit. But I know some people, they won't get, once they're out of cosplay, they're very shy, quiet. They'll keep to themselves. Once they're in their cosplay and they put on a mask or something, boom, they're gone. They're just like, they're part of the whole thing, and they're like the life of the party. Cosplay...
exactly. Very much. I'm very much an introvert. Very much can be very, very quiet. Yeah, I see we're wrapping up. Putting on the cosplay, putting on the mask, not being Odin, especially at a time when I was younger and way more self-conscious, the cosplay helped a lot. At this point, I don't care anymore. I've gotten older, and I've done enough that I've gotten over myself.
Yeah, no, I know
that's the wrong way to put it, because that's not the right way to put it, because for some people that's not where they're at. But it definitely did, because when I was wearing Guar, and even though I was, you know, had a costume on that covered me from the chest up and the knees down, I didn't care because I wasn't me. I was this other character, and it was a lot of fun. And actually, I'm comfortable dancing in cosplay, but I'm uncomfortable as all get out dancing as myself because I don't feel like I've got any rhythm.
Same, a little bit same. I don't tend to dance out of cosplay as much as I do when I'm in my cosplay. That's definitely a thing.
Yeah.
That is definitely a thing. But no, a lot of people in chat saying
yeah.
they suffer with anxiety gremlins and stuff like that, which is
Yeah.
awful. But,
Oh, for sure.
but
yeah, the biggest thing that everyone talked to everybody at the last big cons I went to is we're all socially awkward here. Don't worry about it.
and it's what we do. We go there. We can all be socially awkward together.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for coming, Odin. I really, really appreciate it.
You're very welcome.
For taking the time. We have gone over.
I've had a lot of fun. I'm sorry I double booked myself, but I couldn't stick around.
That's
longer,
okay.
But,
That's fine.
I didn't.
Honestly.
It's just sort of my building. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. Literally, as you said, this is your job. This is your thing. The fact that you've taken the time out to talk to us, I really, really appreciate it. Genuinely, it is absolutely fantastic.
Awesome.
It means the world to me. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, give it up for Odin Makes. Thank you, everyone, for coming. I've been Iron Warrior Cosplay, and we shall see you all again soon. Thanks for coming. Bye for now.
Thank you for coming. Bye-bye for now.